And greetings on this Tuesday afternoon, the 16th day of May, the year 2023, to our latest installment of high school sports from the Virginia Beach Sportsplex. Today it's Beach District girls soccer as the Cox Falcons, with a record of 10-2 with 2 draws overall, take on the Kempsville Chiefs at 6-8 overall. As we speak to you on this 80-degree, warm and sunny Tuesday late afternoon, early evening, could have some wet precipitation in the forecasts are coming our way, and we'll keep our fingers crossed that the storms will stay away and some of that wind too. Matt Hatfield here with you, Jeff Otmar, camera operator for this matchup, as Michelle Clark, one of the storied coaches in the area, who's done a wonderful job at Cox High School for so many years in her 20th season at the helm, 323 wins and counting. She's got 15 returnees back from a team that made the Class 5 state semifinals a season ago, including 3 dazzling juniors in Delaney Hood, Kate Hobbs, and Anaya Frazier that star for this team, along with Amanda Frank, seniors like Madison Blanchard and Kirkland Wilson. And coming off a game just yesterday, in fact, where they defeated Tallwood by a count of 6-0, whereas Kempsville at 6-8 right now, a little bit uneven up and down. They lost their first 2 games, then won back-to-back games over War Hill and Hickory out of district. Got a shutout of Green Run sandwiched in. Did have some shutout losses to the likes of First Flight of North Carolina, Kellum, one of the area's favorites and unbeaten, Ocean Lakes, and here recently shutout losses to Lansdowne and Salem. They're going to try to make some noise and play spoiler today and get a big victory as the Chiefs, the ladies from Kempsville, in the red. It's their, I guess you could say, home senior night game. Cox in the white road unis with the dark numerals. Kempsville's got the white numerals with their red tops and bottoms, and we're underway with Cox operating it from left to right. Kempsville now from the opposite side. We'll tell you the rosters that we have for both of these teams and get you set what's on deck for the Beach District on this Tuesday and the opponents and teams playing on this day in just a bit. 40-minute halves as we are closing in on the regular season finales and then the regional tournaments. Kempsville's finale will come in 2 days at First Colonial. As for the Cox Falcons trying to get back to the state playoffs in Class 5, their finale coming at Kellum. It's a much anticipated game that's being circled by, I'm sure, Coach Clark and her ladies, coming up at Kellum in 3 days on Friday, May the 19th. Falcons going from left to right now, trying to get the game's first goal, as that one's going to be kicked out with number 10 for Cox, and that would be none other than Ava Rasul, who yesterday, it's interesting we bring up Ava Rasul first, the freshman forward, had 4 goals in the win over Tallwood. 1 goal each for Anaya Frazier, the junior we referenced earlier at the beginning of our broadcast, and also Micaiah Correa had a goal as well in that win. Correa, a junior, in that mix too. So here from the corner, putting it in, it will be nudged out. Let's take the rosters now, as we have the Cox Falcons, led by Coach Michelle Clark, assisted by Alex Davidson, Aaron Tonelson, Nicole Cousins. Manager is Olivia Graham. And the athletic trainers, Aaron Abate, Dave Dieter, and J.P. Richards. First look at it there, it's going to be saved by the goalkeeper. Good kick at it by Kirkland Wilson, number 7. That was saved in goal for the Chiefs. I believe that's Kara Parkinson, the goalkeeper today for the Chiefs. As Cox has possession again, nifty move as it's number 5 finding number 2. That would be Amanda Frank over to Delaney Hood. But let's give them to you in numerical order because that's how we have them. Goalkeepers for Cox, you have 00 Elena Bunting, a freshman. The starting goalkeeper, though, is number 1 Kate Hobbs, a junior. Starting also for the Falcons, defenseman number 2 Delaney Hood, junior. Number 3 Anaya Frazier, a junior. Forward Ireland Rich is a sophomore wearing number 4 for the Falcons. One of those captains is Amanda Frank wearing number 5, the senior defenseman. And we watch there moving up ahead. That's Kirkland Wilson, number 7, defenseman number as a senior. Midfielder wearing number 6, Carolyn Blanchard off the bench. Number 8 is Kathleen Gross, freshman forward. Number 9 starting is Emily Tromley. Midfielder, it's a junior. Ava Rasul, the freshman we referenced a little while ago, is a freshman forward wearing number 10. Sydney Harwood, a sophomore defenseman, wearing number 11 for the Falcons. Number 12 is Charlie Coyle, a freshman defenseman. Adelie Booth is a freshman forward wearing number 13. Starting for the Falcons is number 14 is Emma Kane, senior midfielder, as it's going to be offsides on that opportunity. Madison Blanchard, number 15, off the bench, is a senior. Ava Rich, a senior, wearing number 17, midfielder. Sarah Asif Jair, number 19 for the Falcons. As Kempsville tries to save that one from going out. Nice hit up top. Paige O'Connell, number 20. Defenseman wearing number 20 for the Falcons, is a senior. Starting as number 21 is junior forward Micaiah Correa. Number 22 is Taylor Torque, senior midfielder. And number 23 is Callie Mitchum, junior defenseman for the Falcons. So that rounds out the lineup for Cox. We'll give you the roster for Kempsville here momentarily as they insert it into play here. Falcons able to boot it away thanks to Anaya Frazier, junior. As a jet flies over top of us. Weather holding up well right now, which was one of the concerns coming into today, looking at the forecast. Falcons toss it in. Booted over with Ireland Rich. And now another whistle will give it back to the Chiefs. Let's tell you the Kempsville roster while we have a chance. Kira Parkinson starting number 1. Other starters will get to you in starting order. Emily Senseman wearing number 4. Shayna Freeman wearing number 5. Catherine Bailey wearing number 8 for the Chiefs. Grace Guliano number 10. Adriana Guzman number 12. Chloe Booth number 14. Brielle Jones-Baptiste wearing 15. Corinne Lurch wearing 16. Peyton Greaves number 23 for Kempsville. And rounding out the starting unit, number 24, Meg Garrett. Off the bench, Taylor Pakraka wearing number 2. Jilla Rogers is number 3 for the Chiefs. Olivia Nichols donning number 7. Number 9 is Cameron Butler. Number 11, Lillian Dvorak. And Maddie Acosta wears number 18 for the Chiefs. And the all pink and sending it up the field near the 40-yard line was Cox goalkeeper Kate Hobbs with some power behind that kick. And now chasing it down here and trying to find someone slicing towards the net. And it will be back over to the Chiefs, who have kept this Cox attack in check thus far. So we'll tell you a little bit about the Falcons this year. One of the better teams in the 757 for sure. A lot of the all-conference accolades coming out for some of the private schools on the girls and guys side for spring sports such as baseball, softball, soccer, lacrosse, and more. Another big surprise story of the week in the area coming in was the rise of Grassfield, which knocked off the top-ranked team in the 757, which was Great Bridge. And now Kellum is viewed as the number 1 team around, with First Colonial behind them, Princess Anne and Cox coming in number 4 in the newspaper's latest poll. Kempsville not in that top 15, but from there with 757 teams, they have Grassfield 5th now, Norfolk Academy 6th, Great Bridge 7th, Smithfield 8th, Lafayette 9th, Tab 10th, and then 11 through 15 featuring Jamestown, York, Western Branch, Maury, and Norfolk Collegiate. And both Cox and Kempsville in Region 5A. We'll tell you more about some other teams in that region and what it's looking like across the district and the playoff landscape in a bit, as the Chiefs able to jump in front of that one. with number 16 for them. That is Corinna Lurch. Sent up ahead near midfield off the noggin of number 4 for Cox, Ireland Rich. And so far, about 10 minutes gone by, and neither team has found the back end of the net, which I think if you're Kempsville, you're encouraged by that. Question going to be, how long can they keep the Cox attack in check? Because on the season, they have yet to be shut out, and they've had multiple goals in all but 4 of their games. A 1-1 draw to Grassfield back on the 14th of March, the 1-0 win over Ocean Lakes on March 30th, the 2-1 loss to Princess Anne on April 6th, and the 1-1 draw with Ocean Lakes on April 25th. As that one will be sent out of play. Can hear Coach Michelle Clark sending out some instruction. It should either be Delaney or Ireland. I'm guessing that is to put that into play. Falcons with a chance there. It's going to be knocked out. Credit number 24 for Kempsville, Meg Garrett, to prevent Cox from threatening on that sequence. As we're almost 11 minutes gone by. Chance for us to tell you about one of our sponsors here at the Plex, and that would be Vault Athletics and Fitness. The Vault Fitness facility is Hampton Roads' newest 13,000 square foot facility located in the Hilltop section of Virginia Beach, where they specialize in youth athlete development, personal training, small group training, and specialty fitness classes. Vault Athletics and Fitness. Chiefs trying to navigate up the field. Good job there to get away from Kate Hobbs by Emily Senseman. But at midfield, the Falcons regain possession until it's booted up ahead. Able to get it and deflect it was Grace Sculiano. She slid to the turf. Still a scoreless stalemate thus far. You certainly see the fluidity of this Cox team, though, in the early going. Another hold your breath moment there for a second. It's operating from the far side now. Kempsville able to try to dig out of trouble until Cox with some nifty handling. Once again, we see Delaney Hood showing off her skills. Hood's got it. Looking to play keep away. Almost was able to find Ireland Rich, but a little too strong on that one, as it will sail out. 27 minutes and 20 seconds to go in our first half. As far as the Chiefs pitching shutouts this year, it's happened on 5 occasions when they blinked Ward Hill 2-0 on March 22nd, shut out Green Run 13-0 on April 6th, beat Teach Home on April 20th. Not really familiar with Teach Home. Might be a homeschool. Blank Tallwood 3-0 on April 27th. Also shut out Bayside 1-0 on May 2nd. Here's Cox with a one-on-one chance with the goalie, and it's going to be put through for number 10 for the Falcons. First of the afternoon, Ava Rasul carrying over from her 4-goal performance just a day ago. So good goal for Ava Rasul as Cox is able to nudge ahead 1-0. So Rasul now with 5 goals in 2 days. That's how you get it done. As she is starting to make a name for herself as just a freshman. This Cox roster featuring literally 5 freshmen with Rasul, Charlie Kale, Adelie Booth, Kathleen Gross, and Elena Bunting. With that on the roster, and despite being a diminutive speedster, you can see she's not afraid of the competition here, and certainly rising to the occasion late in the season with the playoffs approaching. Might keep Coach Clark around for a few more years. And here's another chance one-on-one. Cox on the move, although Kempsville's got someone able to cut her off. That's a good job to keep Micaiah Correa, who scored a goal yesterday, from getting closer to the net. Let's give kudos to Chloe Booth of Kempsville to basically cut her off. Looked like one of those drivers in the middle of the highway when my dad's driving. They cut him off, but he says some things we can't repeat on the air, unfortunately. But nonetheless, that's what you want to see happen as opposed to on the road there when your defender can, in transition, get back in time to keep an attacker from finding the back end of the net. Almost 15 minutes gone by now. In fact, 15 minutes are gone by. And gives me a moment to tell you the upcoming situation for the regionals. Now, for boys and girls soccer with the VHSL, the region start is slated for 8 days from today on May the 24th. That's a week from next Wednesday. The regionals will be concluded by June the 3rd, and then your championships June the 9th and June the 10th. We'll tell you more about the quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals as we move along here. But if you want more of that information, just go to the VHSL website at vhsl.org/soccer. And then you'll see a tab for Spring Jubilee information, schedules, and hotels and all that good stuff, as they like to say. In fact, last year, looking at some of the soccer results and all-state teams, look across the all-state teams. Amanda Frank for Cox was a first-team all-state performer, junior defenseman. And Cox also had Micaiah Correa make second-team all-state, and Anaya Frazier earned second-team honors. So 3 all-state players returning for this program for Michelle Clark. The player of the year went to Taylor Price of Briar Woods, and the coach of the year went to Callie Bruton of Briar Woods from Northern Virginia, which was able to capture the state championship. Had a 7-1 win over the Falcons in the state semis. And in that one, Taylor Price, who ended up going to Virginia Tech, had 7 hat tricks on the season, including one in that state semifinal game. And they went on to an undefeated season, but after they beat Cox, Briar Woods beat First Colonial 1-0 in the finals after losing to the Patriots in penalty kicks 3-2, 3-3 in regulation and OT in the championship game the year before. So they were able to win their 3rd state championship, and so much talent across the city, whether it's at First Colonial, Kellum, Cox, you name it. As we watch the Falcons try to do more damage here, but Kempsville's going to battle here on this sequence. We see both 24, who is able to hit it off her teammate number 15 in Brielle Jones-Baptiste, but Jones-Baptiste ran hard to try to disrupt that. Meg Garrett with that initial kick. So this corner kick resulting in now Kempsville grabbing possession. Haven't seen a lot of headers in this game, but right now Kempsville's trying to get into Cox territory here as they'll watch this punt. See if one of these Kempsville forwards can really ignite the Chiefs here, trailing by a goal. It's going to be booted over to number 9, Emily Tromley. And now the Falcons working the sideline here with Kirkland Wilson. And with 20 minutes and 45 seconds, the Chiefs will put it in. Once again, the Falcons ready for it with Micaiah Correa, that second-team All-State performer from a year ago. And now with a chance to go one-on-one with the goalie. Here's Cox. Nice, nifty find as it's going to be number 10 with the assist to number 4. And Cox getting it done. That's Ava Rasul with the assist. And number 4, Ireland Rich with the goal. 2-0 is our score. Beg your pardon, that was actually Kathleen Gross that had the goal, not Ireland Rich. So that'll make the score 2-0 in favor of Cox. Had a one-on-one move, but you like Rasul there beautifully, seeing her teammate unselfishly making the play to just dump it off to her. Little header off number 23 for Kempsville. That's Peyton Greaves. Kempsville able to take it away with Adriana Guzman. Sending it up ahead, and now the Falcons able to kick it over with Emily Tromley to Kirkland Wilson. Now Delaney Hood's got it. Some fancy footwork there for number 15, Brielle Jones-Baptiste. But Cox able to stay out of trouble. As this punt will be delivered by Kate Hobbs. It's a really good job by Rasul earlier just to shake the defender as she got near the net. And it gave her teammate daylight, open daylight to put that one through and Gross to make it 2-0. Now on the run here, up ahead. And that one's going to be knocked away there. Good job to keep Ireland Rich and company off the board as Parkinson dove to avoid that becoming a dangerous situation that could make the score 3-0. Now here come the Chiefs near midfield, but it's going to be intercepted there by Sydney Harwood. And can Harwood see in the middle of the field is a wide open Rasul. Instead, she'll try to kick it near the post, and it's going to be Parkinson able to thwart that opportunity. Reminder that the Virginia Beach Sports Club 68th Annual VBSC Jamboree is coming to the Founders Inn on Wednesday, May 31st. You can get your ticket now. Go to vbsportsclub.com for that, as all kinds of student athletes will be recognized for their dedication and outstanding achievements for the year. Again, that's May 31st at Founders Inn, the 68th Annual VBSC jamboree. Far sideline now. Falcons. That's Rasul. One-on-one. Beats the defender. Now she's going to try to nudge it in there to number 19, who was getting near the net, and that was Sarah Isef Jair. Could not. Tell you what, Rasul for a freshman really impressing me today. She's going to be a dynamite player for years to come, you would suspect. And now here's this corner kick. High up into the air as that one was knocked now off the noggin of Kempsville's Meg Garrett. Falcons have Rasul, although a whistle will blow, and it will head over to Kempsville now with 15-13 and counting on our clock. Gives us another opportunity to mention one of the many sponsors of our streaming here at the Virginia Beach Sportsplex and right next door with the training center and all the field hockey going on. There's some soccer even behind there and some of the fields. And one of those sponsors that help make this possible is One Life Fitness. One life, one inspired life. We're here to help start your new journey today to getting fit. Get yourself a new membership by stopping in at any one of the 8 convenient Hampton Roads locations. You can also go online to onelifefitness.com and claim a free trial pass. One Life Fitness. And Rasul getting closer and closer. She's threatening, trying to get it by Kempsville defender, and it's going to be a fine job by the Chiefs' number 14 in Chloe Booth to deny her that opportunity. So the Falcons will put it in from the corner. And again, if you want more on One Life Fitness, you go to onelifefitness.com, as we mentioned. Find your home for fitness with amazing cardio, strength training, unlimited boutique studio classes, and sports. They have more ways to reach your fitness goal than anyone. Starting at just $29.99 a month. Tell them Matt Hatfield sent you in, watching some of this soccer action on a Tuesday in the month of May. Just a couple weeks away, Memorial Day approaching, and then it'll be June. And for a lot of these athletes, graduation time. Don't have the list of seniors for Kempsville, but looking at Cox's roster, 9 seniors it looks like. The likes of Amanda Frank, Caroline Blanchard, Kirkland Wilson, Emma Kane, Madison Blanchard, Ava Rich, Sarah Isef Jair, Paige O'Connell, and Taylor Twerk. Falcons have dominated the time of possession so far in this first half as we near 13 minutes to go until intermission. Here's Rasul. Look at her speed. And that was going to be saved in goal. Another job well done for the Chiefs, as it is Kara Parkinson keeping Rasul from getting that second goal. Rasul had the first one at the 26:34 mark, and then had an assist to Kathleen Gross. We thought it was Ireland Rich at first glance. Speaking of Ireland Rich, she's making her presence felt defensively. Chiefs able to kick it into Cox territory, but Falcons right back on it. Oh, digging it away from Delaney Hood. It's Kempsville's Emily Senseman. She sends it a little too far ahead, and it's going to be out of play. And Senseman had an assist back on April 27th in that 3-0 shutout of Tallwood. That day, Olivia Nichols had a couple of goals, and Chloe Booth also had a goal. Up ahead now. Here's Rasul. But great speed chasing her. Kempsville Number 5 was able to get in the way of that initial kick, but back on the recovery, Rasul puts it through, and Ava Rasul scores again with 11:11 to go in the first half. Her second goal, as she is putting on a show in this first half. It appeared Kempsville was going to maybe get the stop, but not to be the case, as Shayna Friedman was chasing her. But Rasul now with 6 goals in 2 days. And Rasul's had some multiple goal games this month. Back on May the 9th in a 5-0 shutout of Lancetown, she had 2 goals that day as Kate Hobbs earned the shutout. Micaiah Correa also had a couple of goals for Cox in that win just a week ago today. So this will be the 3rd multi-goal game for Rasul in a week. That's player of the week, player of the month type of material. And we mentioned some of her teammates, and of course, well, I should say teammates now, but she was an 8th grader, but now she's a freshman. Her teammates that last year were all-state honorees, Correa as a sophomore a year ago, she's already had a multi-goal game this month. Frazier, a sophomore all-state performer a year ago, now a junior. And then now a senior, Amanda Frank for Cox. But as a junior, she was first team all-state. And I think the way Rasul's playing this month, she's definitely going to be up for not just all district and all region, but dare say all state. I teased it earlier about the state tournament. So the state quarterfinals will be at home sites on June the 6th. And coming out of Region 5A is no easy task. It is a very tall order. State semifinals will be at Spring Jubilee sites on June the 9th, and the finals on June the 10th at Spring Jubilee sites. I know in the past that VHSL has done a wonderful job of being able to cater to some of these schools that have graduation on certain days that may interfere. There's always been some weather issues. Perhaps you can never predict what's going to happen with the outdoor spring sports with rain and lightning and so forth. But they do a really good job of trying to manage it as best as possible. It's sort of a fluid situation. But again, the VHSL.org site will have more details on that. And I know the region brackets are up for boys and girls as we get closer to it. We're not there yet, but they'll be up there. I know they're already up for some sports such as lacrosse, baseball, and softball forthcoming as well. So folks that want to go check that out, the VHSL website, VHSL.org, and then through the links at Max Preps, which is the official bracket provider of the Virginia High School League, will have you covered on that front. As we are just near 8 minutes to go in this first half, Falcons have scored 3 goals in a span of 15 minutes. It was scoreless for the first 13 minutes and 26 seconds until Ava Rasul, who's got the ball right now, kicks it into Kempsville territory, but the Chiefs able to stop with Freeman up ahead. After this one is done, we'll have the boys in action with Kempsville and Cox. If you're wondering how those two teams are doing, well, it could be a very compelling game because I'm showing Cox at 9-2-1 right now and Kempsville at 7-6-1. All chasing Kellum boys who are unblemished at 12-0 in the district. Leading the pack there out of Class 6. Once again, for the Chiefs, Parkinson able to stop activity in front of her. Far side. Battle for it between Kempsville's Brielle Jones-Baptiste wearing 15 and Sydney Harwood, the one donning 11 for Cox. Another one of our sponsors, we want to thank Chicho's Pizza. Go check them out online at chichospizza.com. They're all over the area, whether it's Shore Drive, Strawbridge, you name it. Had me a couple of slices of pepperoni and cheese pizza from Chicho's last week, in fact. Jeff says he's the one that enjoys the sausage most. So if you go in there and you prefer the sausage, you tell him Jeff is the guy that sent you. If you prefer the pepperoni, Hatfield's the one that sent you. There you go. Kempsville's got it with just a little more than 6 minutes to go in this first half. And once again, Kate Hobbs has been on point for them. Wearing the all pink there in the goalkeeping. Got the pink socks to go with the pink top and shorts. Rasul didn't waste time this year. In fact, back on March 27th against Western Branch in a 3-2 win, she had 3 goals. Check that, a 10-2 win over Western Branch. She had 3 goals and 2 assists on that game. And Correa had 3 goals. Kirkland Wilson had 2 goals. So I'm curious how many multi-goal games she has. She had 2 against Salem in a 5-0 win back on April 27th. That's at least 4 or 5 we've counted up. And right now she has been involved in the scoring on all 3 with an assist on the middle one, scoring her first with 26:34 to go in the first half and 11:11 to go in the first half. Can the Chiefs make things closer here before halftime is the question. Trailing this one by 3. Because generally when Cox gets up by more than 2, it's a safe victory. In fact, they have not lost a game scoring 3 or more this year. As the whistle will give it back to Kempsville. 9-0 are the Falcons when they scored 3 or more goals. And in 6 of those instances, in 6 of those 9 instances when they've had 3 or more goals, 6 times they've pitched a shutout. So Kempsville's main objective is not to score 3 goals, but to get that first one on the board if you want to have any confidence and hope. That is the main key. So looking at the girls' standings going into yesterday across 5A, it was first Colonial at the top with a 2.75 power rating, followed by Princess Anne with a 2.36 power rating. Cox had a 2.23 power rating. Now, that was before their victory over Tallwood. And then it was Salem 4th at 2.00, Hickory 5th at 1.47, Kempsville 6th at 1.29, Indian River, which came into yesterday at 5 and 10 overall with a 1.00 power rating. Then you had Bayside 8th and Tallwood 9th. Chiefs know if they were to drop this one today, Indian River can certainly leapfrog them into that 6th slot, you would suspect. But Kempsville can help itself before the regular season concludes because they'll get another opportunity to notch a big win against First Colonial. Now, First Colonial right now, as we mentioned, certainly looking like a championship outfit yet again. Top of the heap in the 5A bracket right now. Could be a collision course with them and Cox in the postseason, which we've seen in so many sports, be it field hockey, be it volleyball, be it soccer, be it baseball over the years. As they are certainly backyard rivals, if you will, and no strangers. You said, what about Kellum? Because they're dominating girls and boys right now. Well, Kellum is in Region 6A. And that one goes off the top of the post. Did not go through for Rasul. Almost did. And then it's going to go through on the rebound. Finally put in for the Falcons. As that was number 7 scoring it. Rasul thought she had the hat trick. But Kirkland Wilson will score it instead with 1:25 to go off the rebound. That one was just tickling around there for about 20 seconds, it felt like, until finally it went through. And Kirkland Wilson with the goal for Cox to extend his lead to 4-0. And Wilson had that lone goal in the game that was a tie with Ocean Lakes back on April 25th. Anna Wiggins had the goal for the Dolphins that day. We mentioned Wilson having 2 goals in that Western Branch win on March 27th. She's had a couple of multi-assist games. The shutout of Ocean Lakes last year being one of them when they beat them during regular season. And again, Ocean Lakes is another one of those teams I mentioned. I mentioned Kellum and Lancetown being in 6A. So is Ocean Lakes for the time being. Because in the girls' power ratings going into yesterday now, this is going into yesterday. We'll tell you about it in a second because Rasul's on the breakaway. 2-on-1 chance. That one's just going to be wide of the net. She kicked it to the right and it went past the post and hits the fence. So no goal scored there. But going into yesterday, Kellum was at the top of the power ratings with a 3.00 power rating, ahead of second seed Grassfield at 2.47. Western Branch at 2.00 was third. Oscar Smith also out of Chesapeake in the Southeastern District, fourth at 1.50. And then you run into Ocean Lakes fifth at 1.33. So 3 Chesapeake Southeastern schools after the leader there. But the way they have 6A is they broke it up into 2 different sections because you have Tidewater and Richmond along with Franklin County. And Lansdowne, by the way, 6th at 0.93. The other part of that bracket, Cosby 1 at 2.86, James River 2 at 2.58, Thomas Dale 3rd at 1.71, Manchester 4th at 1.07, and Franklin County 5th at 0.60. All right, I've done enough babbling, and it is halftime, so we've got ourselves about a 10-minute break. Right now, our score at the break is Cox leading Kempsville 4-0 as the Falcons try to improve to 11-2-2 overall on the season. So far, a couple of goals from Ava Rasul, who has an assist to Kathleen Gross, and a goal from Kirkland Wilson leading the way for the Falcons. So we'll step aside, give you a chance to hear from some of our sponsors, catch our breath, and get you set for the second half, plus a second game with a double dip coming your way as the Falcons and Chiefs will square off in the boys matchup. It's all coming up here. Keep it tuned to our streaming channel, beachsportsplex.com, and the YouTube page at Virginia Beach Sportsplex. We'll be back in a bit with the second half. Until then, let's hear from some of our sponsors, beginning with CHKD Sports Medicine.
At CHKD, sports medicine is more than just treating injuries. It's a whole team approach to caring for young athletes. With experienced physicians, surgeons, trainers, and rehab specialists here when kids and teens need them most. Our experts help young athletes prevent injuries too, with advanced training and conditioning programs that keep them in the game safely. CHKD Sports Medicine, where kids are more than patients and we're more than a hospital.
Wait, hold up. DQ put fries and onion rings in a chicken strip basket? Did you know this? Oh, of course you did. It's sitting right in front of you. Sorry. I mean, you got fries and onion rings together. Is this for real?
Hey, baby, wait.
Oh, yep. That just got really real. Grab a chicken strip and fry rings basket.
Okay, just one. Just one.
DQ, happy tastes good. Get it delivered at DQ.com.
After more than 50 years of innovation, AstroTurf still leads the way. The inventor of artificial turf does it all, right here in the USA. We engineer, test, manufacture, and install the world's most innovative fibers and turf technologies, with over 30,000 tracks and fields worldwide. AstroTurf, powered by Sport Group.
And AstroTurf is powered by Sport Group. AstroTurf, one of our many sponsors, we thank for allowing us to bring you this broadcast free on our YouTube channel and at beachsportsplex.com/streaming. If you'd like to be a sponsor, please fill it out and give us all the info to contact you. But since 1965, the AstroTurf brand has been driven by forward-thinking ingenuity. Today, AstroTurf continues to improve its system designed to deliver playing services with the most realistic, sports-specific performance, longest-lasting durability, and sound player protection. AstroTurf. While we have a moment, let's give you a quick little rundown on the other Beach District soccer games taking place across the city tonight, as not just the Falcons and Chiefs are squaring off, but you also have in soccer activity across the beach on this evening some other teams in the 11-school Beach District. And the lineup for this evening also includes Princess Anne hosting Bayside, Tallwood at Green Run, Salem at Kellum, and First Colonial playing host to Lansdowne, all girls and boys doubleheaders. There's a Thursday match at First Colonial High School with Kempsville traveling there, and then your finales on Friday. You have 4 of them with Ocean Lakes taking on Tallwood right here at the Sportsplex, Princess Anne hosting Salem, Lansdowne traveling to Green Run, and Cox visiting Kellum, and that'll be a big one to circle. Cox visiting Kellum coming up in the Beach District on the soccer front. So there you have it. Let's take another time out and hear from some more of our sponsors and supporters of youth activities and high school events. And that's a place where you can build the perfect boxed lunch, customizable and individually packaged meals for your convenience, and choose from any of the wide variety of soups, fresh salads, made-to-order sandwiches, all served with a hunk of bread plus dessert. We're talking about our friends over at Zoop Eatery.
Well, it's everybody's favorite time of year again. Time to prepare to make your annual donation to that infernal revenue service. And if you're like me, you need help. Help to keep that donation as small as possible. So get off your W-2 and call John Maynard at John's Tax Service. 455-6763.
Revitalize your property today. Shine Time is your turnkey solution for all power washing and painting projects. With years of experience in both residential and large-scale commercial settings, their focus is to bring new life to your home, building, or outdoor space and ensure 100% customer satisfaction every time. Shine Time Power Wash.
All right, we're back here getting ready for the second half with the Cots Falcons leading the Kempsville Chiefs 4-0. Matt Hatfield here with you, Jeff Otmar, camera operator, as we bring you Beach District girls soccer action. I believe this is the first time I've been on the call for this on this season. We've had a lot of lacrosse action for you, some field hockey as well, and before you know it, we'll be in the midst of summer, getting ready for the fall, and people juiced up for fall sports for 2023-2024 as this 2022-2023 athletic calendar school year is winding down. And the playoffs are near for the various spring sports such as baseball, softball, soccer, and lacrosse, among others. Among others, pretty much leaving out tennis and outdoor track, as that covers your spring sports with the Virginia High School League. If you're just tuning in, we've not had any cards handed out today. No yellow cards, no red cards, no Jeff hasn't even given me any cards. No cards have been handed out so far today. I don't believe we've had any penalty kicks for that matter. Yeah, we wouldn't have any penalty kicks if we had no cards handed out. So using their heads instead of their bodies. Absolutely right. But Ava Rasul has been the storyline thus far. The freshman for Cox who scored 4 of her team's 6 goals in yesterday's shutout of Tallwood. Looking like one of the area's best, without any question. That whistle means we are underway as Kempsville begins with possession for the second half. Falcons trying to track that one down, and they do just that. Now working the far sideline as they're wearing the white, going from right to left. And they have navigated into Kempsville territory where it could be a one-on-one situation with Rasul again. And Rasul's going to score to begin the second half. It doesn't look like our clock started, but she'd already scored. Remarkably. I'm going to guess it was. They'll fix the time here, as it did not start the second half here. I'm going to guess it was about 39 as I got the walkie-talkie signal, so they'll fix that. I mean, listen, I try not to hit the clock, but I think they are trying to fix the clock in there. So Ava Rasul, by the way, scored the first goal to begin this second half. I'm going to guesstimate it was at the 39:15 minute mark, 39-minute 15-second mark. As Kempsville had possession and then didn't have it for long, and Rasul had a breakaway, and she did what she does best. In fact, and I'd see them now working on the scoreboard as they're trying to get the clock working. So we'll guesstimate it's now at about 37, 38 minutes to go. I guess the console is frozen. But, enough about that. Let's watch what's happening on the field because we've babbled enough about that. And once again, Cox showing its quickness here, trying to split through the double team for the Falcons. It's number 5 for them. And that is Amanda Frank. But here they are with a 2-on-1 opportunity. Can they get it to Rasul? Long pass from far away. Credit the effort there by number 14, Emma Kane. And now the clock is unfrozen, ladies and gents. How about that? We're at 36 minutes and 57 seconds and counting. And we got that goal to show. I think I said 4-0 by mistake. It is 5-0. As they even fooled me when they had the goal. Rasul says, hey now, I've got 3 goals and an assist. Don't take anything away from my stats here today. Kathleen Gross with a goal and Kirkland Wilson with the other goal. So there we have it. The fully functions are all in play now. All working. Micaiah Correa. As Cox working from right to left in the white jerseys. Kempsville in the red tops and bottoms going from left to right. And we'll see a corner kick here on the near side for the Falcons as they chase the ball that literally went behind the fence and near, not quite the Virginia Beach Mustangs trailer, but another trailer over there, right next to the main scoreboard. On the opposite end of the field where you have the newly named Lucky Oyster Party Deck. I'm going to have to party down there at some point when I'm not calling a game, and they let me party. Here's another corner kick opportunity. Put into play by Delaney Hood. Hood gets it back off I think that was the left foot of Kempsville's Brielle Jones-Baptiste. As we're ticking down to about 35 minutes to go in regulation play. It does not appear, ladies and gents, I don't want to jump the gun here, but we're going to have overtime required for this contest. Now, if you're new to following soccer in the Virginia High School League, I'll give you a little rundown on some of the overtime rules. That's going to go off the foot and out of play, almost a goal for the Falcons, as that was number 7, Kirkland Wilson, trying to get her second. It's another corner kick. You see how well disciplined this Cox outfit is. So many threats in the middle. It's going to be a header off. Looked like, I want to say it went off the noggin of Peyton Greaves of Kempsville. Chased down on the far side. And now we see Adriana Guzman hand it off. Tossed in by the Falcons with Kirkland Wilson again. And that time, Kemp's able to jump the gap and make a play. And trying to shift field position effectively here. Let's give some props momentarily here to the Chiefs' number 3, Jayla Rogers, for making Cox have to cover a lot of ground here as they get it back, and we'll try to move up the field. Hitting the deck there. Looks like that was number 5, Amanda Frank. Here's Kirkland Wilson as she collides into the goalkeeper. And Parkinson able to save that one. But as far as suspended and interrupted matches due to weather, it's declared an official match if one complete half or more of the match has been played and one team is ahead. At any point after completion of the first half, if the score is tied, they can resume the match to the point of interruption unless both teams agree to the tie. And if less than one complete half of the match has been played, they resume from the match. They resume from the match from the point of interruption. Tossed in here, and then a little header for the Falcons once again with Kirkland Wilson drawing the contact. Chiefs trying to work it into Cox territory, but the Falcons reacting so well here in recovery on defense. Booted from the near side, effectively with Anaya Frazier. And they're stretching out Kempsville's defense. Running onto the field is Callie Mitchum, number 23. She'll come in for Emma Kane, number 14. Mitchum, a junior defender. And she'll head to the bench. I see only 2 subs on the Kempsville bench, so not as deep a roster, whereas Cox, glancing over, about 11 young ladies as reserves, so the depth certainly helping them. Not to mention the talent and experience of being a state semifinalist just a year ago, falling to the eventual champion in Briar Woods, who edged First Colonial for the title. Another save by Parkinson as she's able to get that shot attempt from Emily Tromley as we've hit under 30 minutes to go in our contest. They're able to save it off the chest there was Rasul. Big night in sports here on this Tuesday in May, because not only you have the high school regular season winding down in so many spring sports like baseball, softball, lacrosse, tennis, and soccer, I'm not even worried about the NBA or NHL playoffs, but my dad, who I have to give a quick shout out to, Mike Hatfield, is a lifelong San Antonio Spurs fan. He is most excited about the draft lottery tonight, Jeff, because he knows if his San Antonio Spurs win the draft lottery, they'll be getting the prize ticket that is Victor Wembanyama, who is supposed to be the most decorated athlete to come out into a draft since perhaps LeBron James, and that was a good almost 20 years ago. So he is tingling with anticipation for that tonight. We'll probably be on the air as the draft lottery is unfolding with our boys matchup as part of our doubleheader tonight on our streaming page, with Cox and Kempsville squaring off in a very pivotal matchup for seeding for the upcoming Region 5A tournament. But I'm sure I will get a text if they win. He will be up. He usually goes to sleep around 7 p.m. He'll be up to see if Wembanyama goes to his Spurs. And if they don't, we might see Greg Popovich decide to hang him up. You never know. But this is a day he's been circling since probably the start of the season, because they were not a contender like they generally were in those great glory years with David Robinson, Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, and that run that produced about 4 or 5 NBA championships. All right, now the Falcons have it. Back to the real matter at hand with Sydney Harwood. Trying to cross up the defenders, does that. Check that wasn't Sydney on that one. That was Kirkland Wilson who got it from Sydney. And now the Chiefs get possession, but they cannot connect on some of these passes to really change the momentum of this one and put themselves in a scoring situation here. Tossed in here. She's going to run it down with Shayna Freeman. And some of these throw-ins have not produced the best of results either for the Chiefs. So the Falcons, as they run over to the corner, and they get some applauses from their bench. This will be a corner kick from Kirkland Wilson, who's been busy in the second half. She had that goal with about a minute 25 to go in the first half that made the score 4-0. And a couple of players missed that one, so Parkinson will just jog it up outside of the scoring area and boot it up ahead. Now off the head there of Ireland Rich. Comes back out to Parkinson. 26 minutes and change to go in our contest. We want to let you know that John's Tax Service is a proud community supporter of local youth sports, providing tax preparation and retirement planning services. John's Tax Service and JPM Financial Services have been serving all of Hampton Roads for more than 20 years. Yes, for over 20 years. We're the best, says John's Tax Service, thanks to you. You can find them on the web as well. Just hit the Google machine and type in John's Tax Service, and you'll get the info I just got, johnstaxservice.com. Give them a call at 757-455-6763. That's 757-455-6763. And in the meantime, you can send them an email at questions@johnstaxservice.com for any questions you may have for John's Tax Services, along with JPM Financial Services. I may have to do that come next year for tax time. Always good to have that handy and bookmark it, folks. As we have hit under 25 minutes to go in this one, Cox in full command, 5-0 on top of the Kempsville Chiefs. A couple more substitutions as we watch number 12 head out for Kempsville and number 16 jog on. Corinne Lurch in for Adriana Guzman, who will get a breather now. One of the two players now that's going to be on the bench as Cox jogs a couple up near midfield for the next whistle to bring them in off the bench. Looks like that duo will be Kathleen Gross, who scored earlier, and Taylor Twerk. And I see a third one walking over there to sub in soon, and that'll be Emma Kane, number 14, who had checked out moments ago. Anaya Frazier, her pass is going to be picked by a Kempsville player, but Delaney Hood able to give it a good whack up ahead as that will roll out of play, it looks like. Actually, it's going to stay in. Oh, and what a maneuver there. Kirkland Wilson. Tell you what, she's made some plays to extend possessions or reclaim possession for the Falcons. There are the trio of subs. Let's see who will get a rest now and an applause. Looks like Ireland Rich will head to the bench. So too will number 21, Micaiah Correa, who got a goal yesterday. And I believe that third one checking out. I'll tell you in a moment when she turns. Don't want to prematurely guess this. None other than Ava Rasul, who has been magnificent in this game. The sleeve of Coach Michelle Clark and her assistants with all in on it. As this group has been all in and locked in, I'm sure from the very beginning of this season, when they opened it up back on March the 14th with that draw against Grassfield. They were able to win 5 straight before the setback 2-1 to Princess Anne on April 6th. Got shutouts of Green Run and Bayside, then a draw versus Ocean Lakes. A couple of wins over Salem and Lancetown, both by the same exact 5-0 margin. Took a 3-2 loss to First Colonial, which there's nothing to hang your head about with that, given how powerful that FC team has been. And we know just a couple years removed from hoisting the championship trophy. And then 24 hours after blanking Tallwood 6-0, they're well on their way to another shutout, perhaps, as they lead this one by almost the same margin, 5-0 over the Chiefs. Trying to up their record to 11-2-2 on the year. And if the score holds, it'll be their 8th shutout of the year. So as much as we've been gushing about Ava Rasul, and understandably so, let's not forget about the job Kate Hobbs has done as the goalkeeper. And she's still hopping around back there in the all pink. I see the Kempsville boys stretching out behind the Lucky Oyster Party deck, and I'm sure Cox is warming up as well for that matchup that will come your way probably a little bit after 7 p.m. tonight. Might be closer to the 7:30 range, 7:15. But if you subscribe and like our YouTube channel, you'll get a notification when we go live. So the minute we go live, it'll ping or ting or ding, whatever they say. Ding dong. The witch is not dead. But it'll make a noise, I'm sure, on your computer, your tablet, your phone, whatever device you have, assuming you have those notifications turned on, which we encourage for anything we have going on here, whether it is soccer, football, lacrosse, field hockey, you name it. So we're slated to get underway at about 7, but it might be a few minutes after 7 p.m. to allow the teams to stretch and warm up. We'll see how close it is to that time. As the outcome looks pretty much almost certain at this point, barring some miraculous rally here by the Chiefs, who will again close out their regular season on Thursday against First Colonial. Very pivotal game for them with the power ratings we mentioned They want to help their standing. If you're just now joining us or tuning in and you missed that earlier, well, going into yesterday when it comes to Region 5A for girls soccer, we were showing First Colonial as the 1 seed, Princess Anne as the 2 seed, Cox as the 3 seed, Salem the 4 seed, Hickory the 5, Kempsville the 6, with Indian River nipping at its heels, Bayside and Tallwood bringing up the rear at the 8 and 9 slots. As far as the 5A boys standings, I'll give you some of that as we get closer to. We'll probably give it to you when we get the boys game on the air. But I know Hickory was at the top of the standings with Cox right behind them, and Kempsville probably in that 5 or 6 slot. So that game has some significant meaning to it as well. This is one of the rare times we've seen Kempsville delivering a corner near the Cox net, as that one is going to go out of play. Not a lot has threatened Kate Hobbs today. So now from the far corners, they couldn't get the near one to work. We'll see what Brielle Jones-Baptiste can do here to put her team in the best spot to score here. Gets it back as it was ricocheted to her. And the Cox defense just alertly racing out with Paige O'Connell to stop that and return possession to the Gals. Beg your pardon, it's going to be Kempsville possession, but on this throw-in, the Chiefs are going in the wrong direction now, as Cox has got them right near their sideline where they want them, and this will be Falcons' possession. Tossed in. So just under 17 minutes to go. Want to remind you that if you're looking for something sweet, well, every day is sweet when we're serving you Blizzard treats right down the road from us at Dairy Queen. They've got Oreo fudge brownie, Reese's, M&M's, and cookie dough. Ooh! Hit nearly was a goal. Hit the post. Some of the field goal kickers would have been proud of that kick. Falcons trying to use some slick footwork here with Emma Kane. Now punched by Kathleen Gross. But Dairy Queen says, thanks for being fans all these years, and here's to many more. Go check them out. Dairy Queen Lansdowne. It's fan food, not fast food. And DQ.com is the web page. Chiefs watch it get deflected off of Callie Mitchum. Now trying to navigate up the field. Sent ahead to Brielle Jones-Baptiste. Cox is thinking about getting out in transition. One's going to be stopped. I think that is Jayla Rogers yet again. And sent over the head of Peyton Greaves. And then racing towards it was Taylor Twerk for Cox, but Kara Parkinson was having none of that. She sent it up the field near midfield. Kempsville still playing hard, exerting a lot of energy, but haven't gotten that break yet, that first real break. As they knew when the schedule was made, there are some games you circle. You say you're going to have to really play, if not a perfect game, but close to flawless in your execution to win. And certainly the ones with Cox, First, Colonial, and Kellum are the ones that leap right to mind. Princess Anne certainly a tough test as well, among some others across the beach. You'd venture to say if they were in a different district, not to knock necessarily the eastern, southeastern peninsula, Bay Rivers that we have across the Tidewater area, but they might have a couple more wins under their belt on the season. I dare say if I was to do a power ranking, I'd put the Beach District 1 in terms of its overall strength, with the Southeastern second right behind. And maybe a close second, because I think the Southeastern's got a lot of talent and power in Chesapeake with some of the Hickory, Great Bridge, Grassfield, as we mentioned, having a great year in 6A, Western Branch and Oscar Smith doing damage. And might even put the Bay Rivers third ahead of the Eastern and Peninsula. So I'm sure I just made all the Eastern and Peninsula fans mad at me with the mythical Matt Hatfield power rankings, which will not be published and available to anyone at this particular time. Cox with a 2-on-1 chance. And it's going to be saved by Parkinson. Great look there from Emma Kane. Parkinson has saved a few. The ones where their defender has gotten full near the net, it's made it difficult. We've not seen, I don't think, a single shot go right in Hobbs' direction to make her nervous or flinch one bit. Hobbs came out there to gobble that one up and then just throws basically a grounder that will roll to the 35. With 11 minutes and 45 seconds. Falcons trying to bleed the clock here with a 5-goal lead. Falcons now warming up behind the goalpost to our left, underneath the scoreboard as they're stretching out. The boys, that is. You see that there on your screen. They're getting ready for the game that will follow. And again, the records of those teams coming up on the boys' side. Pretty balanced Beach District boys scene. Obviously, Kellum is at the top. But you're looking at, on the boys' side of things for the Beach District, Lansdowne's 10-4. And that one's going to be booted away as Rogers keeps it from being a problem with Emma Kane trying to get there for a goal. But you're looking at Lansdowne 10-4, First Colonial 9-3-2, Ocean Lakes 8-4-2, Cox 9-2-1, Kempsville 7-6-1. So your records there are going to have the Falcons at 9-2-1, trying to get their 10th win of the year, and the Chiefs trying to avoid dropping to 500 at 7-6-1. The header's going to be saved by Parkinson. It looked like that header by Adelie Booth had a chance to be the 6th goal of the day for the Falcons. Cut off wonderfully by Sydney Harwood. Chiefs boot that one high in the air with Brielle Jones-Baptiste. Here's Kane now on the run out. Can Rogers cut her off again? He's going to try to go inside, and instead it's going to be Kempsville kicking it far and out with, I believe, Meg Garrett got to that first. It was Garrett. And now that one's out of the reach of Adelie Booth on the send ahead by Sarah Isef Jair. More subs coming in here from midfield. Let's tell you who those are. Emily Senseman for Kempsville, set to come in. Meanwhile, for Cox, Micaiah Correa, Emily Tromley, and Ava Rasul all set to return, each of whom got substantial time to rest. Rasul today with a hat trick, 3 goals and an assist. That assist was to Kathleen Gross. The other goal for Cox was courtesy of Kirkland Wilson. The lone senior to score in this game because 4 of Cox's 5 goals scored by 9th graders. So have fun dealing with that for the next few years, Beach District. There were the 4 substitutions we just alluded to. The fabulous freshmen for Cox. We'll deem them that now. They've got 5 on the roster with Elena Bunting, the aforementioned Kathleen Gross, and Ava Rasul, and then a couple more with Charlie Coyle and Adelie Booth. As we watch Kempsville get ready to toss it in, which they do with Garrett. Falcons with it. Delaney Hood. And there's Hobbs once again to scoop it up. Punts it all the way to about the 40 off the noggin of Greaves, and then that one's going to roll out of play with 6.5 minutes to go in our contest. Falcons well on their way to moving to 11-2-2. Where can you eat better and feel better? Well, none other than at Tropical Smoothie Cafe, where they're bursting with fresh flavors. Tropical Smoothie Cafe offers grab-and-go catering, boxed lunches. Where's the nearest Tropical Smoothie Cafe? Well, it depends where you live. But as far as nearest to us, there's one right across the street from Tidewater Community College on Princess Anne Road. That is right. One Life Fitness is right there as well, which we talked about earlier. And if you want to find where you can see a tropical smoothie that's near your house, just download the app or go online to tropicalsmoothiecafe.com where you can order right there off your phone or your tablet or your computer. And I understand that you get free delivery on orders over $25. So Tropic Time goes anywhere. I should do that. I should order Jeff and me something from Tropical Smoothie Cafe and put it on Nick's tab. And then we'll know if he's listening. Yeah, put it on Nick's tab. So that's a good idea. Or Chuck Thornton. Yeah, we can do both. We don't need to just do one. We can do both. Then we'll know if they're listening. Millions and millions of people are watching us from all over the globe right now, tuning in from various places. Utah, Denver, Pakistan, Taiwan, they're all over the place tuning in. You can watch and share it anywhere. We appreciate all of you for tuning in on our streaming channel, beachsportsplex.com, and the YouTube. So we are looking at 4.5 minutes to go in this Beach District girls soccer matchup where Kempsville trails Cox 5-0. Chiefs going to drop to 6-9 overall in the season. Ooh, nifty maneuver there to try to escape by Adriana Guzman. And it's going to roll out a play behind the Cox bench along the far sideline. Been a very clean game. We've not seen a lot of fouls, infractions, penalties, things of that nature that I think these two teams have been certainly well schooled and have kept their emotions, which you can't always say is the case. And that one's going to get by Brielle Jones-Baptiste. With 3 minutes and 20 seconds to go. So Kempsville knows with First Colonial on deck, it's going to be very nerve-wracking for their playoff positioning. They're going to draw one of those top seeds you would suspect, with Cox being in that mixture along with First Colonial and Princess Anne. Jones-Baptiste with it. Boots it up ahead, and now the Falcons get to it with Amanda Frank, who hasn't had to score today, but she certainly provides an awful lot of leadership for this Cox program, and her talents have been on display now for 3-4 years. First Colonial certainly is a regular in the state championship game, winning titles back in 2018 and 2021. Class 6 last year. Kellum lost a real heartbreaker, 1-0 to Yorktown out of Northern Virginia in the Arlington area. Cox has been in the state championship game in a couple of instances under Michelle Clark. In fact, I think 5 of the last 7 years, the Beach has had a team in the state finals, whether it be Cox, Kellum, or First Colonial. And Lafayette out of the Bay Rivers got themselves one in Class 3 last spring. So a lot of talent across the area and the city. First Colonial with that devastating duo of Sydney Miller and Skylar Miller, combining for 32 goals on the run to the state finals last year. Oh, nearly a goal there. Had to be a nice diving save by Parkinson, who gets a hand from the crowd. And for those who don't know, once we hit under 2 minutes, the official time is kept on the field. So that's why you're seeing on your screen right now, well, you're seeing on your screen now 31:29, but that's not accurate. But that's why our board here at the Plex is frozen at 1:40. One more game coming up for Cox on Friday against Kellum, whereas the Chiefs play FC. And will the Falcons get one more goal here? Nope, it's going to be booted away. So it goes off the foot of Greaves, and now Parkinson will punt it up ahead to about the 35-yard line. Off the left foot, I believe, of number 9 in Emily Trombley. That's going to do it. Final score, Cox victorious over Kempsville, pitching a 5-0 shutout. It's their 8th shutout of the season, as Kate Hobbs does the job, going unscored here for 80 minutes of regulation play. Ava Rasul scored the first goal at the 26-minute, 34-second mark in the first half, followed up with a second goal. Actually, she assisted on that goal to Kathleen Gross. Rasul got her second goal at the 11-11 mark of the first half. Kirkland Wilson finished off the first half scoring with a goal with 1:25 until the break, and it was Cox 4-0 at halftime, and then Ava Rasul with the hat trick, her third of the day, about 45 seconds into our second half. That'll do it here from the Plex. We've got a boys matchup with Cox and Kempsville coming up. For my camera operator, Jeff Fatma, and our entire team, including Garrett Jackson, Nick Sentai, Chuck Thornton, and so many others, I'm Matt Hatfield saying thank you for checking out Beach District girls soccer action. We got the Chiefs and the Falcons and boys soccer coming up in about 15, 20 minutes or so right here on beachsportsplex.com and on the YouTube channel on Virginia Beach Sportsplex. So long, everyone. We'll talk to you in just a little bit.